Hi, I'm Dr. M.A. Malik. As part of series of lectures on economics, today we are going to see the report of 15th Finance Commission of India. Report of 15th Finance Commission of India. Okay, 15th Commission of India రిపోర్టును ఈరోజు చూడబోతున్నాం. Of course, this report is for the year 2020-21 only. In fact, every finance commission has to give recommendations for the period of 5 years. But 15th Finance Commission has been asked by the government to give 2 reports. One is for the period 2020-21 for the 1 year only, and again for the report for the period 2021 to 26. As we know, Finance Commission is the constitutional organ of India, and for every 5 years under the article of 280 of India's constitution, for every 5 years Finance Commission is set up and it is asked to recommend, especially on the distribution of resources between center and the states, and criteria to distribute among the states. Of course, regarding grants also, and if any related matter, if government asks the commission to do so. Like that, it is the 15th Finance Commission under the chair of Mr. N.K. Singh, and it has been asked to give the 2 reports. One is for the year 2020 and 21, and another for the period 2021 to 26. Yeah, the first report regarding 2020 and 21 was submitted and it is available now, and report for the period 2021 to 26 is to be submitted by October 2020. Let us see what are the highlights of these reports. 15th Finance Commission report of India for the year 2020-21. Number 1, we see regarding devolution of taxes. The 14th Finance Commission has recommended 42% of total tax revenue of center is to be given to the states, whereas this 15th Finance Commission has reduced it to the 41%. The explanation it has given is 1% decrease is to provide for the newly formed union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh from the resources of the central government. Since the Jammu and Kashmir state has been divided and new union territory is formed, hence this 1% decrease in the resources which are to be given to the states. That was the explanation given by the 15th Finance Commission. So, for the period 2021, generally these, on the basis of these recommendations, are the tendency of the recommendations for the next 5 years also, we can understand with these formulas. So overall, 41% of shareable taxes income is to be given to the states by the central government as per the recommendations of 15th Finance Commission headed by N.K. Singh. So this devolution, what is the criteria for this distribution? So once these 41% resources are decided to be given to the states, among the states, on what basis it is to be distributed? That is the criteria. Let us see the 15th Finance Commission criteria along with the 14th Finance Commission criteria. While distributing among the states, these 41%, that means every total tax income, from every total tax income of rupees 100, 41 rupees to be given to the states. Out of this 41 rupees, how the states will get their share? మొత్తం కేంద్రానికి వచ్చే పన్నుల పరమైన ఆదాయములో 41% రాష్ట్రాలకు ఇవ్వాలి. అంటే ప్రతి 100 రూపాయలలో 41 రూపాయలు రాష్ట్రాలకు ఇవ్వాలి. రాష్ట్రాలకు ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత, రాష్ట్రాలకు ఇవ్వాలని నిర్ణయించిన తర్వాత వివిధ రాష్ట్రాల మధ్య దానిని ఎలా పంపిణీ చేయాలి, దేని ఆధారంగా పంపిణీ చేయాలి? Sorry for this small interruption. This is technically small interruption was okay. No, sorry. So this is the criteria. On the basis of income distance, 45% recommended by 15th Finance Commission and 50% recommended by 14th Finance Commission. So out of this 41 rupees, 45% on the basis of income distance. What is income distance? I will explain later. And again on the basis of population of 1971, the 14th Finance Commission recommended 17.5%, but 15th Finance Commission not recommended on the basis of 1971 population. Population of 2001, population in the sense of population of the states, population on the basis of population of 2011, 15th Finance Commission recommended 15%. And on the basis of area, 15th Finance Commission recommended 15%. 14th Finance Commission on the basis of population of 2011, it has recommended only 10%. Area is concerned, 14th Finance Commission, 15th Finance Commission given same weight, that is 15%. Regarding forest cover, 14th Finance Commission recommended 7.5%, but 15th Finance Commission recommended nil. However, 15th Finance Commission used the terminology forest and ecology. That means forest along with environment balance. It used the word and recommended weight 10%. For the forest cover, under the 14th Finance Commission, it was 7.5% weight, but under the 15th Finance Commission, for the forest and ecology, it is 10%. So 2.5% more than the 14th Finance Commission for the forest and ecology. Demographic performance, the term used, it has not recommended on the basis of population of 1971. 15th Finance Commission did not recommend anything on the basis of population 1971. Instead of population 1971, the 15th Finance Commission used terminology demographic performance. What is meant by demographic performance? We will see later. On the basis of this demographic performance, 12.5% has recommended. Actually, 14th Finance Commission on the basis of 1971 population, 17.5%. To control the population, this 1971 criteria was taken by the various finance commissions to encourage the controlling the population growth. But 15th Finance Commission, instead of using population of 1971, it used the criteria terminology as demographic performance, and it reduced from 17.5% to 12.5%. In tax efforts, some past commissions recommended, but 14th Finance Commission did not recommend. But 15th Finance Commission has given 2.5% rate. So like that, out of the 100 rupees of central government tax income, 41 rupees to be given to the states, and every 41 rupees, this percentage, as per this percentage, state has to take their share. This we have to understand. Okay, of course, 15th Finance Commission recommendations recommended for 2020 and 21, and next recommendations for 2021 to 26 also almost maybe same. We can expect so. So this is the criteria for devolution of resources from center to otherwise among the states. Now we try to understand what is income distance. Income distance is the distance of the state's income from the state with the highest income. The income of a state has been computed as average per capita GSDP during the 3-year period between 2015 to 16 and 2017. What we have to understand is the per capita income of the GSD per capita of the state is taken, and for the 3 years it is computed, and as average it is taken. And that income is to be compared with the state which has highest per capita income. By comparing, which has more distance will get more money. In the sense, least income state will get benefited. That is the criteria. So gap is from highest per capita income state and some state's income is like this, some state income is like this. So distance is more. The share will be more. And if distance comes like this, shares will be less. So highest income state gets lowest. Lowest income state get highest. That is the criteria 15th Finance Commission recommended. That is meant by income distance. Okay. Next, demographic performance. Demographic performance, what means? State with a lower fertility ratio will be scored higher. జనాభా పెరుగుదల అంటే ఫెర్టిలిటీ రేట్ అంటాం, సంతాన రేట్ అంటే సగటున ఒక వ్యక్తి ఎంతమంది పిల్లలను కంటున్నది అనే దానిపైన ఉంటుంది. తక్కువ పిల్లలను కంటున్న రాష్ట్రానికి ఎక్కువ నిధులు ఉన్నాయి. ఆ విధంగా ఈ డెమోగ్రఫిక్ పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఆధారంగా నిధులను పంపిణీ చేయడం జరుగుతుంది. The state in which lower fertility ratio is there, that state will get more. To encourage the population control, this criteria is recommended. Okay, the total fertility ratio is a specific year, is defined as the total number of children that would be born to each woman. ఒక మహిళకు సగటున ఎంతమంది జన్మిస్తున్నారు అనే క్రైటీరియా ఆధారంగా దీన్ని పంపిణీ చేస్తారు. Next, forest and ecology. The criteria has been arrived at by calculating the share of dense forest of each state in the aggregate dense forest of all the states. Aggregate dense forest is taken. Out of the aggregate dense forest, how much is the percentage of that particular state? So percentage, if the percentage is more, the share will be more. The percentage is less, the share will be less. మొత్తము రాష్ట్రాల యొక్క అటవీ విస్తీర్ణంలో ఒక రాష్ట్రం యొక్క అటవీ విస్తీర్ణం శాతం ఎంత? ఆ శాతం ఎక్కువ ఉంటే ఎక్కువ నిధులు, తక్కువ ఉంటే తక్కువ. అంటే ఫారెస్ట్ కవరేజ్ ని ఎంకరేజ్ చేయడం కోసం ఈ క్రైటీరియా ఆధారంగా నిధులు ఇస్తారు. ట్యాక్స్ ఎఫర్ట్స్ అంటే ఏంటి? ట్యాక్స్ ఎఫర్ట్స్ అంటే the criteria has been used to reward states with higher tax collection efficiency. It has been computed as the ratio of the average per capita own tax revenue and the average per capita state GDP during 3 years period between 2014-15 to 2016-17. 14-15, 15-16, 16-17. During that 3 years, which state has the highest collection efficiency? That is calculated as average per capita own tax revenue divided by per capita GDP. So if it is more, the percentage of tax revenue by the per capita income is more, then state will get more share. Okay. So next, here this is the tax efforts. Okay. Next, grants in aid. Grants in aid, sector specific grants in aid is concerned. Grants in the sense, center gives the grants to the states which are not loans. Once grants are given, which are need not to be paid again, that are called the resources which are once given, which are need not to be paid again, are called grants. కేంద్రం ఇచ్చిన నిధులను రాష్ట్రాలు తిరిగి ఇవ్వాల్సిన అవసరము లేనప్పుడు వాటిని గ్రాంట్స్ అనే పదంతో వ్యవహరిస్తారు. 2020-21 for the year 2020-21, sector specific grants given to the states is rupees 7,375 crores. This is absolute amount the commission recommended. And grants to the local bodies. Grants to the local bodies for the year 2020-21, rupees 90,000 crores. Okay, of which 60,750 crore is recommended for rural local bodies and remaining for urban local bodies. That is 29,250 rupees. That is 32.5% is recommended for urban local bodies, and 67.5%, that is 60,750 crores for rural local bodies. This is the absolute amount for the year 2020-21 by 15th Finance Commission has recommended. Another significant recommendation in 15th Finance Commission is disaster risk management. In this regard, 15th Finance Commission has recommended national level and state level disaster management funds. National level disaster management fund and state level disaster management fund. విపత్తులకు సంబంధించి కేంద్ర విపత్తు నిర్వహణ నిధి మరియు రాష్ట్రాల విపత్తు నిర్వహణ నిధి అనే 2 రకాల నిధులను 15th Finance Commission రికమెండ్ చేసింది. చేసిన తర్వాత ఈ రాష్ట్రాలకు సంబంధించిన విపత్తు నిధి ఏదైతే ఉందో ఆ విపత్తు నిధిని కేంద్రం మరియు రాష్ట్రాలు 75:25 నిష్పత్తిలో పంచుకోవాలని చెప్పారు. 2 disaster management funds were recommended. For the state's disaster management fund, center bears 75% and states have to bear 25% of total disaster fund. Of course, for the northeastern and Himalayan states, 90:10 ratio criteria is decided. That means 90% is to be given by the center and 10% is to be borne by the states. This is the recommendation of 15th Finance Commission. And for the state's disaster management fund for the year 2020-21, 28,983 crores was recommended. I think center has given this amount to the states. That means 75% of this amount, and state must have utilized for this corona crisis management. I think so. So this is 28,983 crores for the state's disaster management fund. Finance Commission has recommended. Now, out of that, share of the union is 22,184 crores. That is 75%. And of course, for the National Disaster Management Fund, which is to be beared by only center, that is 12,390 crores. These are the disaster management fund which is recommended. Okay, thank you. We have seen today 15th Finance Commission headed by N.K. Singh. Finance Commission is the constitutional organ which is to be set up for every 5 years under the Article 280 of India's Constitution. Under that article, for every 5 years, Finance Commission is set up, and this is the 15th Finance Commission headed by N.K. Singh. Of course, the specific feature of 15th Finance Commission is it has been asked by the government to give 2 reports. One report for, otherwise one recommendations for the year 2020-21 and another recommendation for the period 2021 to 26. And it has given the recommendations. We have seen the tax devaluation. The 41% of the tax devaluation is to be given to the states. Of course, the 14th Finance Commission has recommended 42%, but 15th Finance Commission reduced it to the 41% of the center's shares income to be given to the states. It has given the explanation as Jammu and Kashmir is divided and part of it has been made as union territory. That's why the state's share of income is reduced to 41%. And that 41% income, how to be distributed, we have seen on the basis of area, on the basis of demographic dividend, on the basis of 2011 population, on the basis of forest and ecology, and on the basis of income distance, the criteria and weightage we have seen. Along with that, what are the recommendations regarding grants, specific sector grants and rural development grants and national disaster management, recommendations for the National Disaster Management Fund and state's disaster, state level disaster management fund also we have seen. Okay, the recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission for the period 2021 to 26 to be given by October 2020. After that, we have to see whether any changes may occur or may not occur. Any changes takes place, we have to observe then only. Okay, so far this is the 15th Finance Commission recommendations. Hope you understood. It is very useful for the competitive examinations and the students who have the public finance syllabus at degree level and PG level also very useful. By understanding 15th Finance Commission and Finance Commission recommendations only, we can understand the finance relations between the center and states and how the states will get the will get their share in center's tax income. What is the criteria, etc. We can understand by reading the Finance Commission reports. Okay, this is the 15th Finance Commission we have seen. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.